Hi, this is Ted. Today I want to talk to you about Benny Hinn. Yes, the Benny Hinn, who either he did or his organization pulled down one of my videos because it offended him. Now, there are so many videos out there about Benny Hinn that are pretty offensive towards him, but for some reason he didn't like this one. Did I get something under his skin? Did I get something that really bothered him, or was it my thumbnail? I don't know. I think it might be the thumbnail. I had a picture of a guy in bed, in a hospital bed, and I put Benny's face on it, and it looked pretty impressive. And of course, it said Benny got COVID underneath it. And then you tap that thumbnail and you go into the film. But in the film, I created the question, if he gets COVID, and by the way, I'm going to show you this video at the end, towards the end of my video that you're watching right now. Okay, but in this video, I talked about this could be bad for him because, if people really paid attention to his teaching, they would realize that he teaches that if you have enough faith, you don't get sick. And here he is getting really sick, and not only getting really sick and telling everybody about it, but he's also going to talk about a heart disease that he had as well. Is this what offended him? They pulled my video down, and I was going to be just showing you and sharing with you my video because I went through the time period you have to go through to basically reply, or else whatever. If I thought it was unfair, I could reply. But that created a possibility of going to jail, not jail, but going to court and stuff like this. And I think I'll just wait till the end of the 90 days and then I'll repost it with a different thumbnail. Well, the 90 days just came up last week and my video is gone. It's just totally gone. So what I did is I refilmed that one little section. I had to go 3.5 hours looking through 3.5 hours of him talking about himself for 3.5 hours. And then, of course, at the end, 20 minutes of, hey, you get so prosperous and become millionaires if you give me your money. Oh, he's going right back into it. So I get all through this thing and I can't find it. And I spend really basically about an hour or two looking for that one little, it's like 30 seconds long, where he talks about being sick. And I just couldn't find it. And I think through my last time, I think after I'd quit already, I was about ready to take off. And I'll just try one thing. And sure enough, I find it. I'll go, oh, and you know what? I had to listen to several times to seconds before, seconds later. But he so quickly moves from one subject to another, I didn't catch that it's right in the middle of that stuff. Isn't that exciting? No, it isn't. All right. But before I get into that, there's another thing that happened this week. I got to tell you about this. A couple years ago when the President Trump didn't make it and all these prophets fell apart, not knowing what to do because we prophesied that he'd make it. What should we do? And I predicted, I'm a better prophet than there. And I'm not claiming that this comes from God. It just comes from studying and learning how people deal with the fact that their prophecies fail. Because that happens to any kind of, the Lord's going to come back on January 1988. Oh, he didn't come back. That's because they always have an excuse. They need some kind of narrative to justify their false prophecy. And I knew and I predicted several narrative possibilities that would rise up after the failure of Donald Trump. And sure enough, one of those several narratives, pretty much what I predicted, one of them, did happen. So before I show you that video with Benny Hinn claiming and saying how sick he was, I want to share with you a prophecy. And of course, it's not a real prophecy. It goes alongside of the types of prophecies you see with The Simpsons. And if you haven't seen my videos in the past, they've made several prophecies. They're pretty funny. But one of them was that Donald Trump would make president years before that was even an idea in anybody's mind. Another one was a pandemic coming out of Asia. So you have these people who look into the Simpson episodes and they find different ways the Simpsons talked and predicted certain things of the future that actually took place. And I do put this very much akin to the type of prophecies that you'll see happening among the prophetic movement. Because once in a while, you'll get something pretty close, or, and you're going to see in this case, spot on, and it's not coming from the prophetic movement.
What I do best.
Yeah, fans seem to think the actress predicted she'd take on Wednesday Addams in the highly praised series. And it's all because this viral clip resurfaced from Disney Channel's Stuck in the Middle.
This is what happens when there are 7 kids and you're stuck in the middle. If my family was a week, I would be Wednesday.
Naturally, the internet's gone into a frenzy over the foreshadowing.
Correct?
What do you think of that one? Now, my second video is going to be what I promised you at the very beginning. It's going to be Benny Hinn confessing and telling his people how sick he got.
Well, so this is really, to me, this is very, very special, that God now, the Lord, would allow us to begin getting back to normality, you know, having meetings again, because for over a year and a half, we've had no meetings nowhere, little here and little there. And frankly, I did not even want to go anywhere, to be honest with you, because I was a little, you know, want to use wisdom. Say something. Come on, please. No, because see, I was preaching in Dallas, and I got COVID in January. It was the roughest thing I ever went through in my life. I pray you'll never have to go. Be careful. I was out for a month. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't walk. I lost 20 pounds. They almost took me to the hospital. It was horrible. It was worse than my heart problem. No. Yeah. Aww. It was really rough. I slept 20 hours a day for a whole month. It was terrible, terrible.
Well, this is Ted. You all have a good day. Bye.